All right. Here we go. Here we go. How y'all doing, citizens of Wayne County, the citizens of Detroit, Garden City, Inkster, and all the other 43 communities? This is the Wood Dog, and this is my segment, Just Keeping It Real. I have a very important guest here today, and she was gracious enough to bless me with a Joan for Sheriff Merriweather t-shirt. I'm the Wood Dog. Like I said, this is my segment, Just Keeping It Real, because keeping it real is the only thing that I know how to do. And I'm the Wood Dog, but this is my dog. Her name is Luna. Say hi, Luna, to the citizens of Wayne County. Yeah. Good morning, Miss Joan Merrieweather. I hope you win. Yeah. All right, all right. We're gonna get right into it. Miss Joan Merrieweather, you are a hard person to track down. I've been trying to get you on my show for the last month, and because you've been very busy, very busy.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to introduce you to the citizens of Wayne County, and we're going to make sure that the county citizens know who you are. I've been out bragging about you. The people who know me have been bragging about you. And from what I understand, you had one interview with a dear friend of mine, Mr. Adolph Mongo, but I didn't feel like you got enough time to let people know about what you're going to do when you become the Wayne County Sheriff. I want you to be able to explain in detail without restriction on your passions, the policies that you want to put in place, and without getting too deep in your opponent's situation, because you're running against your opponent who's been in office for a while now. And I believe, and most citizens believe, that you're going to bring a whole different new aspect to the Wayne County Sheriff's Department.
Oh yes.
So, in starting, Ms. Joan Merrieweather, where were you born and raised?
Oh, born and raised in the city of Detroit. I'm
Oh
a
man,
Detroiter.
just like myself, born and raised in the city of Detroit. Where did you go to high school at, Miss Merriweather?
Private school, Immaculata High School, right near Mary Grove College. They
Hmm.
closed down, but it was a Catholic school.
Hmm. Okay. Where did you attend high school?
That's the
Oh,
high
okay, the high
school.
school. Okay, I
Yep,
got you.
high
Now,
school.
right after high school, what did you do after high school?
Oh, I graduated high school, went to join the Air National Guard,
Mm.
went there and came back after training, wanting to join the police department. At that time, they were laying off.
Mm.
So I applied to state police. I always wanted to be in the police. I couldn't pass an eye test. I passed a written test, physical test, but they had a strict eye test.
I see you wearing glasses
Oh,
to this
yeah.
day.
We all wear
Yes,
glasses, but
myself included. Some interviews I do them with them, some without, but I know I need them. But
so,
the glasses correct your vision
yeah.
situation.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
Okay.
can see now. So,
Now, when you ultimately were able to get on with the Detroit Police Department and get in the police
correct.
academy, correct?
86, I joined the police department, and history started right there.
Mm. So, as a Detroit police officer, um, what type of programs did you start up with the Detroit Police Department that still exists to this day? From what I understand, there's a very signature program that you started with the Detroit Police Department that still exists to this very day, and with other police departments across this nation and this county. Talk to me about that.
Okay, myself and two of my partners came up with the community policing program that they still use today. They sent us to Chicago to see how their community policing program worked. We came back, we had open arms. They said, let's make this program work. We made videos. We got to meet the community. The community loved us. And we set out to bring the community and the police together. And it's still working today. People came up, different departments. How did you do it? How did you do it? You have to work with the community. You have to talk to the community.
Mm.
But more importantly, you have to listen to the community.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that situation. I do believe that you are one of the most serious candidates that's been running for a while. Uh, I ran, I ran for some things when I was in the department, like union rep and stuff like that. But I never sought public office. Uh, I didn't have a problem being a soldier. And do you remember on the sheriff's department? Do you remember supervising me?
Yes, yes,
What do you
yes.
because I've been getting a bad rep. People been on me. They say, okay, he did 30 years, but you were my first line supervisor, and I always considered myself a tool in your toolbox. And so, can you tell the citizens of Wayne County how I was uh, in relation to you as being a supervisor and what you observed me doing?
You know, I treat everybody the same way. You
Hmm.
have to respect your officers. I want the respect back. If I give you respect, I expect you to give me the respect back.
Hmm.
But we have to do a job. And if we get the job done, it's great.
Hmm.
My thing is, if it's a problem, we find a solution.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to dog anybody. I, I'm going to treat you the way I want to be treated. And that goes a long way. Respect. That's what we need.
I felt a lot of that coming from you, and by the way that you talk to myself and your subordinates, because you were a first line supervisor. I think in any police department, in any military agency, you have upper command officers, lieutenants, colonels, chiefs. But the first line supervisor, I believe, has always been the most important level of supervision because they actually see what the officers are doing day to day.
Yes.
And you had no problem chewing somebody out if they was wrong.
I chew them out.
And
I
I
went to,
remember getting chewed by you one time, and that's all it took.
I don't
And-
lose it too often,
yeah.
but when I do,
Mm,
people remember. I don't
mm,
lose my cool. When I do, it's serious.
mhm.
We have a job to do.
I think from what I'm hearing in the community, people say, "Hey, she's an older woman. Do you think that she can do this job?" And I told them, I said, "Don't let the smooth taste fool you." I tell young people, "Don't let the gray hair fool you." I do believe you're one of the most serious people when it comes to law enforcement. You have been serious with law enforcement for quite some time. But let me move on to a next issue. Um, that some people were surprised about and find it hard to believe. How did you become interested in flying a helicopter, Miss Merriweather?
you know, that's in my blood. I used to have my mother take me to the airport when we could sit on the road and watch airplanes take off and
Hmm.
land. And I was so fascinated with airplanes.
Hmm.
So when I became of age, I said, Ma, I want to go and learn how to fly.
Mm.
Okay, so after I came back from the military training, I found a school to go to.
Mm.
And Oakland Community College had an aviation program.
Mm.
Oh boy, I'm going to learn how to fly. But this was many years ago. Women wasn't flying commercially. Women,
Never alone a helicopter.
a helicopter, airplane, nothing. So I went to my counselor. I said, I want to sign up for the aviation program. And back then, you had to be signed off by your counselor.
Hmm.
He wouldn't sign me off.
What?
He
Because why?
Now get this. He said, and I asked him the same question. Why? Well, it's expensive. Well, do you know me? You don't know how much I make.
Mm.
The money's no problem. I could pay for my courses.
Hmm.
Where it's hard and where if you look at my grades, I can handle most most problems. Taken
So they didn't
trigonometry.
think that you could do it.
He refused to sign me on.
So how did you ultimately get on?
I had to find another counselor that would sign me on. And by then I was determined. I was going to make them sign me. So the other counselor signed me on, took the classes, made the dean's list, got my license from the FAA. I went back to the counselor that refused to sign me on, showed him my license, airplane license from the FAA for airplanes.
How long was this training to be certified to fly a helicopter? It's not easy.
Now, helicopters and airplanes are two different machines.
Exactly.
Helicopters are harder because you have more moving parts and everything.
You have to use basically your whole body to fly a helicopter.
You're using both feet, both hands, and they all doing different things at the same time.
Wow. So that hand and eye coordination is crucial.
Right. Yeah. So I sat on the waiting list for Detroit for a good 6 years.
6 years?
They didn't want to transfer a female over. And
were there any females in the Detroit Police Aviation prior to you getting there?
No.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Okay, continue.
So I just waited. I said, I'm waiting now. Sooner or later, I will be there.
6 years after you applied.
So when Benny Napoleon took office, his very first day, he knew I had my license. He transferred me over to aviation. He integrated every department on the police department that tried to keep blacks, that tried to keep women on, evidence tax. He did all of that.
You know what, Miss Merrieweather? It's the Honorable, now deceased, former Detroit police chief and the former deceased sheriff, Benny Napoleon, did the exact same thing that the late Coleman Young did.
Yes.
He brought women more into the fold because he knew that, it may be a male-dominated area, but women have a part in it.
And women can do the job.
And the late sheriff, Benny Napoleon, knew that.
He knew
and he especially knew that about you.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
Benny Napoleon, he used to have an open door policy. He'll come out, talk to you, and he encouraged me to stay in school, get that license. It may be hard, but it'll be worth it. So when he did that, I went over there, received my add-on to the helicopter. My flight name was Ice because I was cool. It was nice and smooth when I flew. And I proved to everybody that a woman can do it just like a man.
Now, when you flew helicopters for the city, what does a police helicopter pilot actually do?
Oh, we did school patrols in the morning. And in the afternoon, we picked up prisoners. If we were up in the air, chase came out, we assisted the ground units.
And this was before those high magnification cameras and the heat-seeking stuff.
We were getting those on the helicopter. Those are real expensive, but they do the job.
How many people were on the Detroit Police Aviation Unit when you got there?
It was probably, maybe 30 people.
Wow. How many helicopters?
4.
4. Oh, so you had to break it up among shifts. And you were the only woman amongst all that.
The only woman.
Hearing this is for the first time is amazing. And you were my supervisor. I never knew all this about you until today. I don't think I could sit in the seat of a helicopter, and I'm a motorcycle rider, and riding a motorcycle, you have to use your whole body. Your left hand is the clutch, right hand is the front brake, your left foot shifts the gears, your right foot is the rear brake. It's pretty much the same thing, hand-eye coordination.
Motorcycles are easy. Motorcycles are easier than helicopters.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
I ride a motorcycle.
Hmm. You got a cycle
Yes,
endorsement on
I
your
do.
license?
Oh, yes. Yes, I
Man.
do.
Oh, I'm loving you for real now because I'm an avid motorcycle rider, and I'm loving to hear that, Miss Merriweather. Okay, moving on. Um, did you ultimately retire from the Detroit Police Department?
Retired from Detroit Police and couldn't sit still. A month later, I went over to the Wayne County Sheriff.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to ask you, what did you do next
Oh,
after you left the Detroit Police Department? You say you
it was
couldn't just sit
still in
still.
my blood.
Mm,
And my thing is, I'm out to help people.
mm-hmm,
I'm here to serve the citizens of Detroit and Wayne County. I
mm-hmm,
saw many things that I could do that I didn't do, and that's one reason I went over to Wayne County Sheriff.
mm-hmm.
Cause it's
Yeah,
more
because
than
because
Detroit.
the authority of a county sheriff is much more broad than
Yes,
because you not on in the Detroit cop, your jurisdiction is the city of Detroit
it's
limits. Wayne
Detroit.
County, there's 43 communities and
Yes,
cities,
it's
and you got
huge
more to look at, more to be responsible for as a county sheriff.
and more to offer people
Mm,
in Wayne County.
mm. Okay, moving on. You are a family woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And how long have you been married now?
Oh, I hope I get it right. 23 years
23
now,
years.
yeah.
And what is your husband's name?
Jerome, and he just happened to be a helicopter pilot too.
Oh, yeah. So he was on the unit
He,
with you with
yes,
Detroit Police?
Detroit Police. When I retired, came over to Wayne County. He retired. He
Mm-hmm.
had a lot more time than I did, but he retired and he came over to Wayne
Yeah, I
County.
remember. Let me just backtrack a second. Did you two ever fly in the same helicopter together?
Yes. Yep.
All
Oh
right. Yeah,
yeah.
husband and wife team.
Husband and a wife.
All right. And I do remember your husband, Mr. Jerome Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Okay. I noticed that your names are different. Your last names are
I
different.
kept I was married before divorce, and
Hmm.
I kept that because of my child.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, Mr. Jerome Jenkins. I had the pleasure of working with him more than I did you because
Right.
you were on a supervisory level at that. But
Correct.
I do remember you coming over as a regular deputy. And one important thing, when you came over to the Wayne County Sheriff's Department from the Detroit Police Department, you had a very good relationship with the current sheriff at that time, Benny Napoleon.
Yes. Yes.
And unlike your opponent and some of your opponent's appointees on the sheriff's department, what was one significant thing that you did when you came over from the DPD to the sheriff's department?
I started from the bottom up.
Uh,
You have to know the problem that's there. You can't hear about the problem. I dealt with the problem. I was there when we had to do 16-hour shifts 7 days a week. I refused to take on. I even volunteer so some officers can go home with their
I
family.
remember. I remember I used to be working. You would assign me to the hospital because of the staff shortages, and there was only a X amount of officers in the sheriff's department. There were MCOs licensed that could carry a firearm. And I
Correct.
remember you used to, even though we had a good relationship, you would still call me on that phone and say, Frank, I gotta order you, brother. I gotta, and
Yeah.
I used to tell you, Sarge, do you have to order me today? I just got ordered yesterday. I gotta get
But
you. Did I ever refuse any
you
orders
never
from you?
refuse. And most
Mm,
people that
mm.
I had to order said they would stay only because I asked them to.
Yes, respect, like you said earlier in this interview, goes both ways.
Yes,
And
yes.
I think you put people in a position where they didn't want to let you down.
Right,
And I never
right.
wanted to let you down because I knew if you was calling me, you needed me, and I didn't want to let you down.
But they all believe we have a job to do.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna dog anybody
Mm.
out. Let's get the
Mm.
job done, and then we can celebrate
Yeah,
later.
yeah. I think that's very important that you didn't seek favor. You wanted to know what you was walking into, and your husband did the same thing.
It runs in the family. We treat people decent.
Hmm.
I don't have to yell at you. I'm ordering you to work. No.
This is what I need, and let them make the
Yeah.
decision.
Can you
Now,
please stay help me out and work?
even though it's still an order, you
Yeah.
still
It
ask.
wasn't like a
Yeah,
order.
yeah, right. You ask
I'm
with
asking
so
them.
you have the advantage of that motherly voice,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and that disarms people.
But that
Uh,
motherly love, that's what you need. And people say, oh no, it's the police department, it's the sheriff's department. But you need that love and caring of officers and the citizens to get a job done.
mm-hmm.
And that's what I got that some people don't have.
Mm. Now, to close out the your family situation that I want you to let the county. How many children do you have?
I have one child by my previous marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and I have three steps,
Mm-hmm.
which, hey, we all love each
One
other.
big fat
Hey,
happy family.
happy family.
Okay. After you served with the Wayne County because you retired from the Detroit Police
Yeah,
Department. Then you served an X amount of years with the Wayne County Sheriff until you was
18
eligible. 18
years.
years
Yeah,
until you was eligible to retire, and then you ran for sheriff in
yes,
2022.
yes. Never ran for a political
Yes,
office. And all
and we
this,
were on the opposite sides because you were
yeah,
running as Joan Merrieweather and I was working for Mr. Walter
the
Epps,
Alps,
and
right.
we had a gentleman woman's race between the
Oh
two of
yeah,
us.
oh yeah. But
And yeah,
the old politics of trying to destroy somebody is no good. That's out,
hmm
and we should understand that we need to get the best people in office, not the one that has the most money, and not the one that end up bashing the right person and putting falsehoods out there.
hmm
We need people that gonna do the job.
I'm glad you said that, Miss Merriweather, because I've received a lot of positivity and some negativity because of my personal views on putting out information on your opponent. And I've been religious in doing that because my safeguard was always everything that I said. And I still stand by that it was the truth. The deputies within the Wayne County Sheriff's Department are not being treated fairly. Uh, they've been pounced on, pounced on. They haven't had their retirement multipliers restored for the current and retirees that was taken under emergency financial management, which I understand. The county was in disarray after the Facano administration, and Warren Evans needed what he needed from the state to right the ship. So the county is in the black. But once the county gets in the black, how come the sheriff's department couldn't be put back in the black?
Yeah,
And the officers have some of the things that was taken
yeah.
from them to right the ship. It wasn't just the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, it was all the county unions across the board.
Hmm.
But moving on, what is your honest opinion at this time about the sheriff's department and what you, Joan Merriweather, can do better?
Everything.
So it's safe to say before you answer this question that you're not going to be able to walk in the door and change everything
Oh
overnight.
no, no, it's gonna take time. The sheriff department. I remember when I was on the Detroit Police Department, I saw a deputy walk down the street, and I'm like, oh my God, he is sharp.
Hmm.
Oh, and people respected the sheriff department. Nowadays, people don't know the sheriff department.
Yeah, I remember its heyday.
Oh, we can be so great. The citizens of Wayne County deserve a lot more than what they're getting right now.
mm,
We can be the best, and I'm not talking about the best sheriff unit in Michigan. I'm talking about being the best sheriff unit in the whole country. They got to be coming to me, asking me, how did I do such and such, such and such. The main thing gonna be that I care and I'm gonna take time to listen. I'm not doing this for no paycheck. I'm doing it for Wayne County, the officers, the citizens, and you always have to include the inmates.
Hmm. Yeah, because they are the reason why we're down there. A lot of people think that law enforcement enjoys incarcerating people. And in the words of the late great Sheriff Benny Napoleon, I know you're going to remember, he said that uh, law enforcement as a whole is infatuated with incarcerating people instead of finding ways to keep them out
Correct.
of the correctional facility. Now,
Correct.
we're not talking about the people that just don't want to do right in the community. You have to separate them from society. But it's just like as a traffic cop, when you're out enforcing, everybody doesn't deserve a traffic ticket. Everybody doesn't deserve to go to jail. You know, they
Right.
don't need to go.
People,
Sometimes you can modify.
you have to realize everybody that's locked up in Wayne County isn't guilty. Now they may stay. Our job is to house them until their trial.
That's
And
right.
then if they found guilty, they go into prison. If they found innocent, they're released. But you have to take care of them. And sometimes it's a revolving door. So we're not offering them things that would keep them out of jail. Now they come into jail, they have done something wrong, but let's put them on the straight and narrow and keep them out of jail. And that's how I met with Stevie Wonder,
Yes,
the artist.
from what I understand, you have a very significant endorsement from Mr. Stevie Wonder. Tell me how you came about that, and you got the attention of Mr. Stevie Wonder, the musician.
Some friends of mine knew Stevie Wonder,
Mm-hmm.
know he's involved in Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
and we approached him because we wanted to develop, and we're working on it now, a mental health program.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to do that, introduce it to the jail to keep people out, offering programs so they'll stay out of Wayne County. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I met him. He
Mm-hmm.
developed a song for the mental health program.
Oh wow.
So when I decided to run this time around,
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to mention that we were on the Zoom call. And
Okay.
I said, "Sir, I'm running for Wayne County Sheriff, first female. Would you be interested in endorsing me?" To my surprise, he jumped on it. It's like, yes, what you need from me. And at
Mm.
that time, I was kind of shocked. So I had to sit down. He came up with slogans for me and everything.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that man, he,
Wow.
oh.
You know, hold this 1 second. Hold this. Hold this.
So he had to grab the.
All right, the wood dog is back. The wood dog is back. My microphone came off my clip. I got excited about this. This is the endorsement that Miss Merriweather had from Stevie Wonder. And as you can see, it does have his signature. I don't mean to cover up your face, Miss Merriweather. I cover
That's
up my
okay.
face.
That's okay.
This is Mr. Stevie Wonder. And let's get super serious. Endorsement of this magnitude is very important because Mr. Stevie Wonder performed in Detroit most of his adult life and around the country. And for her to get an endorsement like this from a man like this speaks volumes. And if you want to read some of that, Miss Merriweather, on your thing for us.
It just says that sign, seal, and deliver your vote for Joan Merrieweather Let's make history together. And it's signed Stevie Wonder.
All right.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. It just he was so anxious to help out whenever he can, and we may be coming out with some more surprises from him and others, but he just wanted to see the right people.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And I'm so glad, and I appreciate your explanation on what you can do better and letting us more get into. So when people see this, 'cause we've been passing them out all over the place, and this is a very serious endorsement. And it says, "You got my future in your hands. Sign, seal, and deliver. Vote for Joan Merrieweather."
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
one serious endorsement. Now we're going to address the big elephant in the room at this time, Miss
okay.
Merriweather. And I think everybody, the citizens, want to hear this. I always like to stick to my 30 minutes in my interviews, but we're at 30 minutes. Uh, I understand that you had several attempts, and several attempts were made to have you removed and kicked off the ballot for Wayne County Sheriff. And why, Miss Merriweather?
One reason people see that I'm a threat, people see what I can do, and it hasn't been done. And I'm willing to work with everybody. When I decided to run, I sat down with some of the unions and told them what I wanted to do. And they asked me questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, whole lot of people in Wayne County know that I can do the job better and they deserve more than what they're getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was surprised. I was surprised they came at me that tough.
Well, you don't have to say it, but I'll say it. There's a man named his name is Robert
Robert
Davis.
Davis.
Robert Davis is a convicted felon. He was convicted in federal court for stealing money from the Highland Park Public School District to the tune of $200,000. And it's been hard for him to navigate, but this man was able to get a hold of a couple lawyers and help him file restrictions, not only against just Miss Joan Merriweather, but in 2022, he filed these same issues against candidate Walter Epps. He's been attacking a lot of the judges in Wayne County, looking for little quirks in their applications to run for office. But what makes it more significant against you, Miss Joan Merriweather, is that this individual was seen personally by me and people that I know in the company of the current sheriff, Rafael Washington. Now, this individual was seen at sheriff headquarters. This individual was seen in the community with your opponent. Now, from what I understand, he filed the first time to get you kicked off with the Wayne County Clerk's office. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And he also filed to try to get you kicked off the ballot with the Third Circuit Court.
Correct.
And who was the chief judge that presided over that?
Fassard.
Judge Patricia Fassard.
Yes.
Okay, the honorable woman she is. And I think she saw through the BS. Now, they were unsuccessful with the clerk's office and the Third Circuit Court. So what did Robert Davis do after that? He filed with the
Michigan Appeals Court
a third time to try to get you kicked off the ballot.
Correct.
Okay. And ultimately, he was unsuccessful there. So the last and fourth attempt to get you kicked off the ballot for Wayne County Sheriff, who did he go to next?
The Supreme Court to get me
the Michigan Supreme Court?
Michigan Supreme Court.
And did the Michigan Supreme Court entertain this situation?
They looked at the evidence and said I did nothing wrong. I filed correctly, and I will remain on the ballot.
Thank you. Thank you. 4 attempts, and I think it was mostly done so your opponent could run unopposed on the Democratic side.
You know, I was going to keep quiet about all of this, and I decided to let people know some of the politics. What I have to say is that he hurting a lot of people. He's hurting a lot of good people.
A lot of good candidates running for
Yes,
office.
yes.
Yeah, well, and getting off of him, I will say that I'm glad that all four of the courts, the clerk's office, the Third Circuit Court, the Court of Appeals, and the Michigan
Right.
Supreme Court said no to kicking you
Right,
off.
but he should have stopped when the first person said no. She did everything.
Qualified candidate to be Wayne County Sheriff. What makes you more qualified than your opponent?
One reason, because I care about people
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring this sheriff department to what they should be and not running around with all types of different uniforms. We don't know if they sheriffs or who they are. And we have to let the citizens know, because anybody could get a shirt and say, I'm a Wayne County Sheriff. No, we
Mm-hmm.
need to be all in uniform, being professional,
Mm-hmm.
acting professional, hold officers accountable, hold the citizens accountable.
Right, exactly. Okay, next question, Miss Merriweather. Give me a few major things that you won't ever tolerate in the sheriff department if you are elected to be the next Wayne County sheriff.
I'm not going to tolerate disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna, if you do something wrong, if you commit a crime, I'll drive you to prison. Once I'm asking you to come on Wayne County. Let's show the citizens of Wayne County what we can do. Help you out when something tragic happens. We're there to help out. And I mean, if something happened at Oakland and Macomb, I want to call up and say, do you need us? If they say yes, I'm on my way.
Mm-hmm.
And I will personally be out there working. I'm not going to sit behind no desk and collect a paycheck. I'm going to be out there working. If I ask you to get out on the street and patrol the streets of Wayne County, I will be out there on the street patrolling the streets
I
of
know that
Wayne
there's a lot
County.
of idle hands in the sheriff's department, people that could be out there working, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's a continuous staff shortage going on. There's a continuous acceptance of institutionalized overtime that's affecting recruiting and morale of the sheriff's department.
That's the biggest problem. What we have to tackle is recruitment. That's the main thing. We have to get people in there so we can do the job and to expand. We want to get outside the jail. We want to be out there.
There is officers working in a lot of different units outside the jail as we speak, but not in the significant numbers of days past.
Correct. And
Mhm.
there's some departments we had to shut down because of the shortage. They're
Mhm.
not out there, and they should be out there. We have to tackle that. We need qualified people to come in. We just don't want to hire anybody. We want professional people, and they will love the job. We won't be forcing them to not have a day off and not see their
Mm.
family. And we got to make the department of family. Your family will be my family. Every officer's family gonna
Mhm.
be everybody else's family. And
Mhm.
we have to take care of our family.
Mhm.
And we're gonna take care of our family and then expand it to the citizens of Detroit. And their family gonna be our family. And that's how we do it. That's how we work
Mhm.
together.
I'm feeling you all over the place. You about to make me cry up in here on my interview.
I love
But
it. I love Detroit. I love Wayne County. I
mhm.
love the officers. I love the citizens of
Yeah.
Wayne County. 43 cities. I love them all.
And you've been out there campaigning in just about every and
And
all of them.
talking to them, and they feel left out.
Hmm.
They should not feel left out. When I become sheriff, they won't be left out.
Yeah, because you will have deputies patrolling Sumter Township.
Yes,
You will
yes.
have deputies patrolling in Canton.
Canton,
You will
Flat
have
Rock.
deputies in Plymouth,
Yeah,
Plymouth City,
yeah.
Northville,
And
Huron
if
Township.
anything happens in any of those cities, I'll be on the phone calling. Do you need us?
Hmm.
How many
And
officers
sometimes
do
it's
you
not a lot.
need?
It's not like you're sending the army.
No,
Sometimes you send a car with two deputies. That's
exactly.
usually what they need
And they'll
most of the
say, I
time.
need 2 officers. And
Hmm.
they on the way.
Yeah, because the sheriff does have the luxury of not having jurisdictional boundaries in their respective counties. And I do want to point out to the fact, or one thing to the Wayne County citizens, there is only one other female sheriff in the state of Michigan. The state of
Correct.
Michigan has 83 counties, and there's only one current female sheriff, and she's in Kent County, Michigan. So
Correct.
you can look that up. And we would like to make Joan Merrieweather the second female sheriff, not only just because she's a woman. We're not sitting up here gender politicking, but we're telling you that I'm telling you, and the people that I talk to, that Miss Joan Merriweather is the most qualified person for the
The
job.
most qualified,
Now,
and I got that female touch that we need. And
oh,
not
thank you,
only
Miss
will I
Merriweather.
be the first female sheriff for Wayne County, I will become the first Black female sheriff for the whole state of Michigan. So
Hmm.
we got to push that out there because I like opening doors. We have to consider all the kids growing up, give them something to shoot for. That's
Hmm.
when I became the first female helicopter pilot. I became the first Black female helicopter pilot in law enforcement for the entire country.
I've talked to people when you were actively flying police. They're retired like you. They said, "Man, we didn't really think that she could do it. We actually thought that they would just let her on the unit and keep her on the ground, and only let
Um,
her go up
my
every now
call
and then,
sign the ice, so
just
that answer everything.
right." Miss Merriweather, let me touch on something real serious in this last before the last question. How important is it to have a positive and cohesive relationship with the Wayne County CEO's office, his chief assistant, uh, CEO of Wayne County, the chief judge of the Third Circuit Court, and more importantly, the Deputy Sheriff's Association Union and the Command Officers Union in the Sheriff's Department? How important is that relationship?
Oh, that is crucial. We all have to sit down and I go around talking. Let's get rid of this ego stuff.
Mhm.
Let's sit down. We all have a job to do. If we sit down like this and talk, we could come up with a solution. If I'm not talking to you, I don't want to hear nothing you say. I will sit down with and most of them know me.
That's the beauty. You already have respect of the sheriff's
Yes,
department sitting here as we speak right now.
yes.
And you never lost it in retirement.
I'm here. This is me.
Mhm.
All the years I haven't changed. I'm not going to change. A sheriff, I'm the sheriff. No.
Now, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Miss Murray, but I have to. As it pertains to the Wayne County Deputy Sheriff's um Union, their vice
I love
president,
them.
Robin Hornbuckle, is a woman.
I love
And
them.
the president, Annika, can you tell the Wayne County Deputy Sheriffs and the Wayne County Deputy Sheriffs Association and the citizens of Wayne County and the citizens of Detroit that you will include the union in decision making?
Of course. Now, I realize we're not gonna agree on everything, but I'm willing to listen. And
Mhm.
if I say no, I can't do that. But it's not gonna be like that all the time. Most of the officers there at that union, I love them to death. And I'll
Mm.
be so willing to work with them. I'm so excited because I'm ready to work with them right
I
now.
know you are. Let me just
Oh,
say this. I'm aware of at least 10 sheriff's departments in the state of Michigan that when they have staff meetings, the union has a chair in those meetings.
yeah.
And I've never heard of it happening with the Wayne County Sheriff. The union was always never included in
No,
staff
the
meetings.
union should be
In
including.
your administration, will they
They
be
will be
included?
included.
Will
Oh,
they have a
yes.
chair?
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying they can
Yes.
just interject, but they will be able to sit in the
Oh,
meeting on
yes.
decision making.
I'm not here to hide anything.
Mhm.
I want to get the job done. I want to be the best sheriff department, and like I said, the whole country. And to bring in the union, they will help us. They have so many great ideas, and they can help us out with training and a whole bunch of
And to
stuff.
help you out with things that you may miss.
Correct, correct. I don't know everything,
Hmm.
but I need people around me that will tell me, hey, John, no, we need this done. What can we do? And we sit down and make it happen.
Hmm.
And we don't have that right now.
Right. And, Miss Merriweather, let me just say this while it's fresh on my mind. There were some people that retired from the Wayne County Sheriff in the last 3 years that they were not treated fairly when they retired. And I think when I talked to you at a retiree association, you pledged to make contact with all the retirees. And you came to a very big event that I
Yeah,
invited you to, and you didn't know that there was that many Wayne County Sheriff
right.
retirees.
But
And
you
it,
know,
it, it did shock you, didn't
it shocked me.
it? Hmm.
And then again, it didn't because we have to all work together. Just because you retire, you're still my family. So being left out of stuff, being treated wrong, and I pledge when I get sworn in January as a new sheriff, I have to take time and make things right. And when I say make things right, make it right for all the ones that were treated bad. Cause I received phone calls saying, I'll come back and work for you.
I know a couple of deputies as we speak. They're working for different agencies,
They
and they
would
said
come
they will
back.
come back.
They would come
You
back
know,
and
I'm gonna grab them up.
we
I'm
got
gonna grab them up. I'm
and
gonna say, hey, you said you coming back,
yeah,
and come
yeah.
on back.
And it's gonna take time.
Yes.
It's gonna take time. But we have to make the wrong that were done to them, we have to make it right. Even if they don't come back, we have to make it right.
Acknowledge the wrong.
Yes, yes. It's a
Okay.
lot of things we have to acknowledge, and it's gonna take a while, but it
Mhm.
will get done.
Amen. In closing this interview, Miss Merriweather, if I missed anything, what would you like to say in closing to the citizens of Wayne County?
All I want to say is it's time for a change. I'm the change. We have to put somebody in there that's going to take care of business. I will take care of business. I'm determined to take care of business. Every job I've done, I've taken care of business. Vote Joan Merrieweather, Wayne County Sheriff. You could go look me up on Joan, the number 4 sheriff.com. Hey, just vote for me. Give me a chance. That's all I have to say.
Miss Merriweather, I want to thank you for coming on my segment, Just Keeping It Real. And to the citizens, if you want to check out this segment and all of my other segments, go to Just Keeping It Real at Wood Dog 4868. Just type that in on the YouTube search engine. But there's a lot of people saying Just Keeping It Real. So it's Just Keeping It Real at Wood Dog 4868. And you can also see my videos in their chronological order on my Facebook page under Frank Wood. But as you know, everybody calls me the Wood Dog, and I don't hide who I am, and I am what I am because keeping it real is the only thing that I know how to do. Thanks again, Miss Joan Merrieweather, and I was very nervous before I did this interview because I didn't know how this was going to go because I respect you so much, and so do the deputy sheriffs, current and retired. They've been indicating that they respect you. The unions on both sides of the fence, the supervisor and the deputy sheriff's union, they respect you. And I've been out with you. And the citizens out here, they responding to you. So I hope you're successful in people voting absentee. Consider Miss Joan Merrieweather. And the walk-up election was this August 6th of this
August
year.
6th.
Okay. Thank you, citizens of Wayne County. This is the Wood Dog. I'm out. Here we go. Yeah, we got some stuff covered. Yes, sir.